Bartender ako sa isip, sa salita at gawa. Karanasan ko ay katumbas ng pagsubok at tuwa. Hindi pagpapalit ang aking mga napala. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang laban kahit minsan nadadapa.
So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Toma Sessions Live with Richie Cruz, your host. And today is already 3:59, and you probably are shocked that we're in the afternoon session of Toma Sessions, which we usually do at 9 o'clock. But of course, it's a weekday and it's work day for the bar, so this is the only time that we can do a session with our friends from the industry. And today, in a few minutes from now, we shall have one of the legends in the bartending industry. In fact, he was awarded as the best bartender 2019. And also, of course, for those of you who has been to his bar, and for those who haven't been to his bar, which you should check out definitely, it was awarded one of the best bars also last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think back to back. And it's really not surprising. In fact, this is the time that we get to know our guest more up close and personal. He's actually been in the Philippines to and fro, okay, and it's good now that Hongkong is back in business, and we're just gonna ask him, a few things and tips that we can learn from, being one of the best bartenders in the world, Asia, and of course being awarded as the best bar also in Asia last year. So later he'll be joining us. There he is. I see him already in our Instagram live. So again, just to introduce to you our guest. So actually he started. We'll ask more about his background as I bring him live with us. But okay, let's put him on. In 3, 2, there. Oh my goodness! Hello, bro.
How are you, brother? Good morning.
Good morning. I envy you because you have a haircut. You have a very nice haircut.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
You're in Manila. So, actually, for now, only a few salons or beauty parlor are open. The barber shop, I think, not yet, because that's part of the new normal. They're putting some guidelines in order to have a clean haircut, as they say.
I see. Okay, all right.
Yes.
I think you can call Jerry Olino to help you to cut the hair, bro.
Yeah. Actually, we mentioned that during our private Toma sessions.
Brother, I'm so sorry. Your sound is kind of like really echoing, bro.
Okay, let's check
Yeah.
that. Let me shift. Okay, I think this is good. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Awesome.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So again, welcome everyone. Welcome to Toma Sessions Live Afternoon Edition with me, your host, Richie Cruz. If in case you guys are not gonna be able to watch this, of course this will be in IGTV, and we'll also be streaming this on YouTube after. So, are you already at work or you're in the lab? Are you in the lab?
In the lab. It's working since morning actually today, around 11 o'clock. So that's my new normal life now.
Okay, okay, okay. Nice.
New
Yeah,
normal.
because I'm seeing, is that Laura at the back?
Yes, indeed, correct. You're right.
Later
Yes.
we'll tell people about what Laura is.
All right,
So
absolutely.
okay, I think yeah, I see some of our friends already have joined us. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a background of this legend over here. So I actually met him or bumped to him a couple of times here in Manila when he was still doing some trainings for the Shangri-La group of companies. And then I formally, well, not formally, but I went to Hong Kong and met him at Lobster Bar. And then yeah, then I've seen the growth and the rise to the epicenter.
You're too kind.
with the birth of the old man Hong Kong, and of course, like what I said well, in the beginning when I switched this on, well, he was awarded the best bartender in Asia and in the world, right? Well, correct me if I'm wrong. 2019. So we have to be. I want you to be the one to answer that. But to me, he's really one of the best bartenders, regardless if it's accurate or not on what I'm saying. You know, we'll learn more about maybe the, how do you call it, the proper definition maybe of hospitality, or a personal approach to hospitality rather than scripted. Okay, I think
All
I
right.
think that I would describe you, my friend. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, my brother from another mother, the old man of Hong Kong himself, Agung Prabowo.
Hey guys, thank you, Richie. Very good morning, Richie. Good morning.
Good
How are you
morning.
doing?
Good morning.
Thank you though. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having the old man. To be in part of your events today. It's our honor actually. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Anything for the old man. I mean, I have to. Well, I know. In fact, this is money time already. Basically, this is money time. I understand that pretty much. Well, even here in the Philippines, we can't wait to be in that situation. So I really won't really take much of your time. We just want to see you because we haven't been, and you have a lot of followers here in Manila, especially. So
Okay, thank you.
they are looking forward to this interview with you. Okay, so let's for starters. So can you tell us a brief history of Agung? Like, what year did you start in the business? What was your course? Your journey from where you are now.
Okay. I think I will. If I tell you about my journey, it's going to be like 2 days. You cannot. But let's make it short. Okay.
Sure.
Long story short. Actually, I start bartending since I was like 18 years old, back in Jakarta, and then back in the days, I'm not like just directly become a bartender. I was study, and then at the same time also I'm doing kind of like part-time job, and then also how you say again, I do part-time job but not bartending. I was doing kind of like a bus boy in the cafe in Jakarta, and then also so like after like 3 months, 6 months, I asked my supervisor, hey, listen, I really want to jump in the bar, because I see the bartender is like super cool, basically he do everything back in the days, he making a drinks, he serving to the guests, cleaning the glass, washing, making, that night actually there's so many ladies in front of him, so that's why I want to become like him, so actually I told my supervisor, I said, listen, can I just come up to the bar as a part-time, but you don't have to pay me. I just want to learn all about what is actually the bartending, back in the days, like I think 1998, we don't really have a Google, YouTube, we just only. I remember that in that bars in the cafe called Cafe Kencana, and the bartender only have one book, which is I remember is a Boston bar
Boston,
book.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Boston.
well, yeah. Basically, so just like I read that one, and then of course, back in the days, you cannot touch, you cannot make a drinks. You have to only just washing the glass, for like three months or 6 months. I remember, So after that, start tapping the beer, and then after that, the bartender asked me to make a gin and tonic, basically. So back in the days, yes, there is actually jigger, but we don't really do much jigger. Although there is a jigger on the bar counter, we just like free pour, and then they teach me how to do the free pour stuff. Bubble 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be 1 ounce. So this kind of thing that make me like I how you say again, I learned so much thing, although back in the days it's not much like social media. I mean, like nothing social media or Google or YouTube that you learn from the internet. I learned from the heart. I learned from how you say again, watching the bartender that who teach me back in the days. So and then I moved after that. I went to a few bars in Jakarta and working also several bar in a hotel bar like a Shangri-La back in the days, as well as a Mandarin Oriental. Actually, I was promoted as a bar manager when I was like 22 years old.
Wow.
I don't exactly, yes. So I have like 4 years experience, although like it's not like, but I don't know why the hotel manager like, okay, I believe that you can do it, but I told him like, I'm like really young, I still want to learn, no, I want to become a bar manager, of course, like then worked there for 1 year, then I moved to Hong Kong actually. I moved to Hong Kong like 2005. I get a transfer, very lucky. I get transfer in a landmark Mandarin Oriental, the bar called MO Bar still right now, and then working there for several years, like around 6 years, and then I went to Lily and Bloom, W Hotel, Lobster Bar, Island Shangri-La.
You've been everywhere. You've been everywhere. Okay.
So
Okay.
15 years actually in Hong Kong, like I'm like working here and there, and then before open the Old Man, actually I working for Mandarin Oriental, which is I'm back to the group because in Hong Kong there's a 2 Mandarin, Landmark Mandarin and then Mandarin Oriental. So I'm back to the group, which is the Old Mandarin, as a beverage manager, and then look after for like 6 7 outlet of the bars, look after for the staffing, training, and all everything basically. So all basically is the how you say again, back office, not really operational. And then me and my partners James and Roman opening the Old Man Hong Kong.
Okay,
And
so
in 2007. Yeah.
let's move back a little bit. So when you started, because we are more in the same generation, more or less. At that time, it wasn't really on the drinks. It's more of the style and the flair, right?
Back yes, are you talking about like 2000 since 2005? Sorry, 19 year 2000. Yeah, 1999 year 2000. That's all about the flair. There is no much about a craft cocktail. Of course, yeah, there is a cocktail which is only serving the classic cocktail. Although there is the signature cocktail of the place, but it's not like the way we produce, because again, I think right now everything's evolved, right? Everything's like, everything's like, I mean, like, how you say again, all the technique advanced and then technique like super great, back in the days, I think we don't really know what is the rotovap, centrifuge, things like this, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like, back in the days it's only about the entertainment and also the flair.
Yeah, so actually it's more of being a Tom Cruise during the 90s. Now, I'm pretty sure of that. Now, but I'm curious, so how big is the Jakarta bartending scene?
Well, actually, it's very big. Jakarta, how many? We have like 16 million population. 16 million population. So, Jakarta, is, right now, after I left, which is I moved to Hong Kong 2005, and then I went back, time to time, you travel back to Jakarta, is the bar community is very, very solid, very, very strong, and then also there is there is so many bars opening, not this time during the pandemic, but they have like really, really good concept. Jakarta is big, pretty much same like Manila, it's super big and then super diverse. And then also in terms for the bartenders, it's very, very solid. They're very solid in community, and then they are like talk each other, they support each other. So that's why I love to coming back to Jakarta time to time.
Okay, so have you ever, anything in the works before COVID? Anything in the works that you, of course, push the envelope or return to Jakarta to maybe put up an old man there? Or have you thought of that?
Well, I mean, not at the moment, not in the moment, because I love Jakarta. Jakarta is my hometown. Eventually I'm going back. But I don't know when. We don't know when. To open the Old Man Hong Kong before that is we don't really have a plan. However, we are opening the Old Man Singapore. That's why,
exactly. So, because I haven't been to Jakarta, and as far as I heard, like what you said, it's a very big community. So, but is there a good mix also of other cultures or nationalities in Jakarta as well, or just like for example in Hong Kong, you're a melting pot of different cultures. Singapore, same. So how about Jakarta?
I think Jakarta pretty much same like Manila though, because I last time couple of time I went back. I see there's also European bartender working there, and also from Southeast Asia also working over there as well. But it's not much like Singapore or Hong Kong though. But in Bali, there is so many like from overseas working there in a bar.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about your partners. So I'm just of course, for those who don't know, basically the Old Man is like the Three Musketeers. It's a group of three gentlemen. I don't know if there's other additional partners, but as far as the faces of the Old Man is concerned, there's three of them: Agung, James, and Roman. So can you tell us, how did you three, decided let's put up something and let's do it?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like me, James, and Romans actually. We all used to work together back in the days when we used to work in a landmark Mandarin Oriental in a bar called Mobar, when I mentioned to you earlier, and then after that, when we all split basically. So because I moved somewhere and Roman also working for Upper House, Jim used to work for working for like Renaissance Hotel or something like that, and. When was that? Like 2016, and then we contact each other, right? And then after a long period of time that like we never meet each other, and then let's have a drinks, like it's very casual, it's been a while we haven't talked, so then we have a drinks. of course, cocktail, couple of shot, a few shot, many shot, until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then, like pretty much same like with other bartenders around the world, when you are, when you get tipsy or drunk, you're always talking shit, basically, let's open the bar, let's quit the job, everything's always talking about this one, right? So, however, like with these two, I see they're like really committed, like meaning that, regardless how drunk we are the night before, and then I call them like around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, and then they pick up the call. Hey, listen, do you remember what what we discussed last night? Let's meet up if you really want to do it. Let's meet up. It's like, yeah, why not? So we meet up in a Pacific Coffee, still with a big hangover, and then also we talk about like, hey, what's the concepts? How much the initial cost for this. Calling me.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then like let's do it. Let's put the money, everything, and then we start. But after that meeting, actually, we cannot find the right location or the shop or the place where we want to open. So we kind of like waiting for 1 year. Yeah, exactly 1 year after after that discussion. 1 year later, then we got the how you say again? We got the place in the central in Hong Kong, in Soho area. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so but I've been there, right? So your place is like, again, for those who don't know, this is like speaking because you go down the steps and then you suddenly just turn left. Okay, an open door. Now, but when you saw that place, were you did you already eye for that place, or was that just the first place available at that time?
No, because during the 1 year after we get discussion and we look for the place, because again, Hong Kong renting the place in Hong Kong is very, very expensive, and especially on the street level, that's actually bloody expensive. So then what happened was like we are like looking here and there in different area, cannot find it, and then also the matter of the how much the rent every month that we need to pay, right? So that's why, so that place is actually, we already know this place when we try to talk to the landlord, and the landlord said like, the tenant actually want to extend, for one more years, so then we need to wait, So then, okay, maybe we kind of like very hopeless that years, and like, maybe doesn't work, let's forget it. So somehow, like the landlord called Roman, and then Roman's and then, hey, listen, you still want that place, for you, like, and then yeah, why not, So the thing is like why we like that place. Indeed, it's very small, but we have high ceiling actually. So you don't feel that, because normally in Hong Kong, to find the small place with the high ceiling is very, very rare.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then what happens, like we take this one because high ceiling. So although the place is very small, you don't feel like too small, So because of the high ceiling, that make a bit how you say again, wider, big, make it bigger, feel big.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. So that's why. So we take that place, and of course the rent is a bit cheaper than compared with others. Yeah.
All right. Now, okay, let's go to you three. Let's go to the other two. So, I mean, basically all of you, well, do you have like a specific role per partner? Like what does James do? What does Roman do?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, like three of us, we have a different background. Although we used to work together back in the days, uh, like like for instance, Roman's never do the bartending. He loved talking to the guests. Before we opened the Old Man Hong Kong, Roman used to be the operational director for Cafe Grey, which is really famous hotel in Hong Kong called Upper House Hotel. Uh, and he loved to do like entertaining the guests, talk to the guests about the service, about the quality. He's the one, he's the master. James, although he's a bartender, but he how you say, he's into the number. He's into the how you say again, the costings, like all the financial things, and then yes, so that's their job role. My roles, nothing. I just pouring the shot and then drinking. That's it. so, so that's why we have three different kind of style of work. So I think it's what makes the Old Man different, because I love to being like everyone being bartender, but I think for a small place we need like really have a different kind of style of work. So then the team is getting stronger.
Okay. Now, in the span that the Old Man has been open, right? Before we talked before COVID. Okay, so how many times have you? Well, you don't have to be exact with the number, but were there times that you had disagreement, which is normal for any partnerships, right? But do you have that once in a while, or a lot, or once a week?
Of course, I think once a week. I would say a couple of times in a month. I think that's normal because how you say again, we're running the business. We're running operational. Not like everything's smooth, right? Because we have three different kind of style of people here. We're talking, and then how you say again, and then they have different kind of angle, point of view, blah blah blah. So I think that's normal for us. Yes, but again, that's all about work. We don't take it in our heart. Yes, we have three, but normally the one who make a decision is myself. So like, let's say we put in the tables, and then we put in a table whatever we think, whatever our thought, everything's, and then decision maker is me.
Okay. All right. So let's go now to the Old Man.
Mm-hmm.
So were you the main brain of the Old Man, Ernest Hemingway? So are you a fan of Ernest Hemingway?
Yes, I am actually. I'm a fan of the Hemingway. I just like his character. I just like his book. Although like I'm not like really read all the book, but the way he writes is actually very nice. And then in terms for the drinking matters, actually Hemingway is good drinker. Like not good drinking. Actually, he's an alcoholic. So I think I'm a fan of the Hemingway.
Okay. So how long was that? Okay, if you're a fan of Hemingway, how about the two? Do they even read books? I mean, are they also into books, or were you really the one who pitched the whole concept and okay, it's good, I'm on it, let's do it?
I'm the one who just creating the concept, but of course, the James and Roman, since we need to we open the Old Man, they have to read the book because they have, because sometimes like if the guest asking, oh, do you know For Whom the Bell Tolls, if they don't know like, oh, what the hell is this one, so it doesn't make any sense, in the way that they force themselves to read the Hemingway's book. Yeah.
No, I understand, because it's tricky if you're talking of books, and especially you do have guests, I'm pretty sure, who's a fan also of Hemingway. So it's like if you're the owner, yes, of course you have to read that whether you like it or not, because otherwise, it's not how do you call it? It's not gonna be a foolproof concept. Okay, so. Now the science, I mean, when was the shift? Because like we were talking about in the beginning, since well, maybe you and I both have the same more or less objective why we started as bartenders in our earlier years, right? Now, it has, or when did you gear towards producing quality drinks now? What year, around what time in your life did you start shifting towards more drink oriented?
Okay. Well, I think since I'm like starting working, I put like whatever I make make a drinks, regular gin and tonic. I'm still putting my heart over there. I mean, talking about like the experimental cocktail, it just been since when we opened the Old Man. Because frankly speaking, I have no degree to learn how about the scientifics, about the rotofact behind me and reviews. I just learn from the book I read. Again, to do this kind of things, actually there is no formula. You have to do it, and then it's kind of like try and error. So I would say around like 4 years back, my drinking style or the cocktail style is a bit slightly changed 4 years ago. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so now let's talk about Laura. Apart
Yeah.
from the wife, okay, by the way, guys, Agung is married to the lovely Laura. But there's another Laura, okay? Can you tell us about the Laura at the back?
Sure, absolutely,
And why
Richie.
the...
All right. So, guys, I mean, like, here's actually right now I'm in the lab. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
So, it's actually rotary evaporators. It's a massive, like around 15 liter we have here in the lab. This is actually the machine that like produce all the cocktail in the Old Man. So without this, actually, our cocktail style or cocktail it won't be happen because again, it's about like it's all about the equipment, the tools here in the Old Man. So this is Laura. This is like working like 24/7, no day off. And the rotofact I named after my wife. So
Yes.
yeah, so
So they're the same, huh? Laura works 24/7.
I know, right? Yeah. So
Wait, are you
So
in a
we have
different
about-
lab now? Did you relocate? Did you move to another lab?
correct, yes. I moved to
Okay.
another lab. It's a bigger one.
Okay.
Correct, Richie.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Here you are.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Well, by the way, Devender, shout out. Devender is here with us. He was saying, even I didn't see the lab. I live in Hong Kong. At last, I can see on Insta Live.
No,
Devender,
Devender is very busy. That's why. Devender is very
Yes.
busy. He's a busy man.
Man, Devender, yes.
Even every time I ask him to come up to the Old Man, I need to send the email first. To make appointment. That's why he's very busy, man.
Okay, now we know Devender, huh? And also, shout out Giancarlo. Senor Giancarlo Mancino is also with us.
Oh, okay. Tell Mancino also. Mancino, I have like I just opened like a lot of Mancino bottle over here.
Yeah, I think you had a collab with him, right? Maybe you can mention that. What was your collab with him? Was it the coffee?
Yes, it's actually it's just beginning that time actually. But somehow due to the pandemic, we kind of like really stop for the time being. That's why.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe. Okay, guys. Again, so if you have questions, please feel free to ask Agung. So now let's ask me so I can ask Agung. Okay, so let's now go to the awards. So I'm pretty sure you are multi-awarded even in the Shangri-La group, right? But here now it's beyond already Shangri-La. You put up your own bar, and then not only is the the bar awarded, but even you as an individual. I mean, how does that feel? What was, I mean, when you heard the news that hey, Agung, you're the best bartender for this year. Come on, let's go. So, what was inside of you?
Well, it's nothing changed actually. I don't really even like expecting I will be the best or become an industrial icon. I think there's so many people in Asia, in the world. I think they are much better than I do. I just been blessed. I just been very lucky actually that you guys support me. I think I don't know. I don't really I don't really feel is that me. Like it's kind of like dream. Of course, I'm happy. The same time as well. But the most important things for me, I guess, award is also as good. To get award is also good. But the most important things right now, how we run the business. Like during this pandemic situation.
Okay, all right. So now let's talk about hospitality. So I was
Yeah.
saying earlier, is there how would you? Okay, let's put it this way. So you give hospitality, okay, but at the same time you would also receive hospitality when you go to a bar, whether or not you're known or whether or not they know you. Okay, so how can you distinguish? Or for you, what is your definition of hospitality in the real sense of the word? Because it's the talk. I've been watching social media and all of it also talks, and emphasis is really also given about hospitality. Because we're hit 100%. But then again, it's for you. How do you look at real hospitality versus hospitality by saying?
Okay. Well, I think the hospitality is how you say again. There is no formula. It's come up from your heart, basically. People can feel it. The real hospitality, genuine hospitality, not faking. Yeah. People can see it. Because I think it all comes up from your heart. You have to first. Especially in working in this industry, in the bar industry, first you have to enjoy being a bartender, right? And then also, at the same time also, how you enjoy is come up from your heart, how you love your job. So I think once you enjoy, once you love the job, it just automatically comes up like that. That's the hospitality, meaning that, people can feel it or the guests can feel it that you love your job, so it just naturally, it's all connecting with the hospitality. But again, not only that one, you have to, of course, although like you enjoy, meaning that not like just really focusing one thing, but of course you have to focusing to people in front of you, the guests especially, eye contact, smiling, talking to the guests. I think that's the most important things about the hospitality.
Okay, all right. Now, let's go again back to the cocktail, the profile. What is Agung Prabowo's flavor profile when it comes to developing cocktails? Do you follow a certain formula? Do you follow a certain formula? Do you follow certain protocols?
No, actually, I don't really do actually, because in the Old Man, when we do the cocktail, it's all about Hemingway, right? And then as you may know, that the Old Man cocktail is named after Hemingway's book. So I have to follow that, certain of like a concept or how we developing our cocktails by using the Hemingway's how you say again, life story, like where he used to live, and then as you know, Hemingway's an alcoholic. Although not only just alcoholic, actually also he loved drinking cocktail. He's admire champagne. He admired like a cocktail. So for me, when we creating the Old Man cocktail, we have to stick on this one. We have to know where is Hemingway used to live. What years, and then what kind of food that normally Hemingway eat, and then sometime in the book of Hemingway that he mentioned one cocktail, right? Some of the book they don't mention. So I have to kind of like bringing myself to that era where Hemingway writing this book. So I have to understanding about the book. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first, okay. So old man, because there's a concept. Let's move back. Let's move back to lobster bar or Mandarin, right? So how about when you were in a hotel, where when you were in a big company? Do you have any? Was there any standard or protocol that hey, Agung, you have to develop these types of drink, etc., or you're free to do what you want as a beverage fan?
I think when I was in Lobster Bar or Mandarin, of course, you know, big chains hotel they have certain rules, you know, to when we try to creating something, right? Back in the days, yes, I have to kind of like really follow the rules, and then kind of like guidance that we cannot use certain ingredient, for instance, like that. But right now, I think with the evolution of the bar, especially a hotel bar, you know, I think I believe, and also back when I used to work for Mandarin before I opened the Old Man, everything's changed right now. Changed meaning like, you know, they the company like allow you to do whatever you want to do as long as this is profitable for the company, and then is not make dangerous for other people. You know, I think that's the trend right now is like this.
Okay. All right. So let's move now to the Hong Kong bartending scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So just a while ago we were talking about the Jakarta bartending scene. So how long did you adjust to the Hong Kong bartending scene from the time you went or you got to Hong Kong?
I don't really have a time to adjust actually. I think I'm very lucky that they all welcome me back in the days 2005. Actually, before I moved to Hong Kong, I visited Hong Kong a couple of times during the flair competition. So very lucky, and then they knows me. I know them as well. So I know all the community from them from that competition. So when I arrived Hong Kong, they all welcome, and then I'm happy. Same like you know when I'm in Jakarta, you know, like that.
Nice. Okay, so okay, let's move to the present now. So how is Hong Kong in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
It was great actually. The Hong Kong was great. The Hong Kong was we reopened the bars. When was that? Like last month, 8th of May. The response was great. You know, like I think people also get bored, and they don't want to stay at home. They want to go out. They want to party, things like this. It was busy first day, which is Friday, super busy. Every bar, every street is busy. I'm very happy, but at the same time also worried, which is if the outbreak or the cases if Hong Kong have cases again, then you know we going maybe the government has to close. So luckily until now we don't really have the local cases like you know during the we opened the bars. All is actually imported cases. However, like yesterday, I read the news. We have like 13 cases locally. So you know, it's kind of like a bit worried right now.
Okay. I think this is a good question, especially for the local or the Filipino bartenders, bar owners who might be listening now. No, did you have a big briefing with your staff before you opened on that first Fiesta Day? You know, because like what you said, right? A lot of people are thirsty and whatever, so they're like horses running, for a race. So how were you able to get ready in that particular shift, wherein you do not compromise the social distancing protocol by the government, if ever that is implemented in Hong Kong?
Well, of course, again, we have a big briefings. The team started like 2 days earlier because we need to, how you say again, clean the place again, because after 1 month we close, after 5 weeks we close, and then we need to coming back again to clean, disinfecting the place, and then make it all everything's clean basically, and then hygiene. And then, of course, we still need to follow the government restrictions, like social distance, like 1.5 meters, and then also the place. We cannot we only can serve the guests like within only half capacity. And then, of course, providing the masks, hand sanitizers, and then disinfectant, everything. Yeah.
So, but with this 50% capacity, so one person, how long does one person stay?
How long?
Yeah, in your bar. If let's say you have a long line, right?
Yeah.
And then this one I'm curious. So, because it's weird in a bar that you have to time yourself. Okay, you're only going to sit there
Well,
for.
I don't really time. I don't really time the gas actually.
Okay.
He just I just let the guests like whenever they wanna sit actually. So, but I would. Guests understand because our place is very small. And they understand like, okay, normally if they have like 2 rounds or 3 rounds, they already like, oh, can I get this check? So we really have a high turnover.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, but my point is at least even your guests know or respectfully, are aware that there are people also outside, and they just they miss you, they miss the drinks. Then if it's time to go, they go and let the others sit down. That's really good because sometimes it's like before the pandemic, right? In fact, you will have guests who will sit until the end of the shift, and just because they like to sit, they enjoy the ambiance, and we're talking to them. But in terms of the turnovers, they don't really bother. Okay, but that's good. Now, last 3 questions, because I know
Okay.
you have answers already. 5. I know, man. So that's why I'm very thankful. Again, guys, welcome to Toma Sessions Live. We are with the old man Hong Kong, Agung Prabowo. Okay, let's go now to Singapore.
Yeah.
So I believe, okay, can you tell us your relationship with the other old man, Andrew? Young man,
Okay.
I think.
He's the youngest one among the group.
Yeah.
No, because Andrew is my partner there, and also he's a managing director there to run the place. We talk about opening the Old Man's like 1 year after the Old Man Hong Kong opened, and then the same case as well with my 2 other partner, which is I met Andrew after for a long time, although like Andrew used to work in Hong Kong, right? And then he moved to Singapore, and then I think I met him again somewhere, and then we get drinks, and then like Andrew start talking. What about if I have find a place, blah blah, like can we open the Old Man Hong Kong? Yes, why not? So it's just like that, very quick, it's just very spontaneous plan, for the Old Man Singapore, and then now we open already 1 year.
Okay. So basically, for Singapore, it's just Andrew who calls the shots. He doesn't have any Roman, any James.
We come up there, I mean, before I myself, Romans, we make turn once a month, twice a month to come up there to see, and then to have the operational as well, and then of course the drinks also the Old Man Singapore need to follow the Old Man Hong Kong.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question. Last
Yes.
question. Maybe can you give us like what's your take on bartending competitions? Okay, with regards to helping a young bartender's career in the industry. I mean, like, how about if, let's say, because not everyone is into competition, correct? But what's your take on that? Let's say that they don't really want to join a competition.
Okay.
But, okay, I think you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, I think I would suggest, like, for every bartender, like, I mean, a young bartender, it's good to have competition, but it doesn't mean like if you win something from the competition you become arrogant or sorry.
No worries. No worries.
I'm still around. Become arrogant, and then forget about where you're from. I think you need to take, or you must participate competition. But again, it's not like every competition you have to participate. You have to see it also. What is the scale of the competition, things like that. I think that's a good platform for them. But the most important thing is like how you work behind the bars. Like the reality. The reality.
Okay, so maybe a follow up to that, the reality.
Yeah.
Do you believe? So can you believe that a new guy that wants to enter the bartending career needs to start as a barback?
Well, I think I cannot tell you like have to be start barback or something like that. But again, for me, what I learned, from my career, I start from here, from bottom, so then at least you have to understanding about the philosophy of bartending. You can be also directly become bartender, but are you ready? So you have to ask yourself, are you ready or not? But for me, if you want to become up there, you need to climb up from down here. You cannot just suddenly jump up there. That's
Okay. Well, people, I just want the people to hear it from you, because it's like, especially this profession of ours is not just really a one-hit wonder. We really need to work hard to be where we are now. And so with that, maybe you can leave a last final message before you go back to work to
Yes.
everyone. Go ahead.
Final message. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Richie. Thank you for having me. And then I wish you, family, and all the Filipino bartender everywhere. Wish you all the best, and then stay safe and healthy, and make sure that and then hopefully if everything's go back to normal, we can meet up again each other. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have plans, right? So hopefully that comes true. So again, thank you very much, Agung.
Cheers, brother.
It's been a pleasure, it's been an honor. I mean, thank you very much for taking 1 hour with us here in Toma Sessions.
Cheers, brother. Thank you so much, Richie. Thank
Okay.
you. Ciao, guys.
You go back to work. Thank you very much,
Alright,
Agung.
bye.
Ciao. All right, guys. So there you have it. Agung is really busy, so he's back to work now. But yeah, I do hope you guys learned a lot in our quick Toma sessions with Agung. Now, of course, thank you for everyone who's tuned in right now. And I would like to promote our YouTube channel, Toma Sessions. We're actually gonna record this and stream it in Facebook and our YouTube channel. Okay, so with that, thank you very much. This has been Richie Cruz of Toma Sessions. Goodbye.